All right, I pulled over. Someone literally, this is me, okay, and this is someone that was driving, and they were like, I was just going straight, and it went just like that, and I just lost it. I mean, I didn't go all veteran on them, but I had to pull over, calm the hell down. And I'm not dumb enough to go chase somebody or something stupid like that. I'm not that kind of person. But you're that much of a rush that you could cut off a vehicle. You need your head examined. So I'm just chilling out here at a gas station for a second. I think I'm better. I don't like to drive angry. I'm not an angry person. I'm not an angry bird. Okay. Today's not a good day to do a live stream, apparently. When you almost like this motherfucker, I want to shoot your ass. Gosh, calm down, calm down, calm down. People are just so fucking. The other motherfucker just cut me off. Sped through some. Oh, they don't even have a sidearm in my truck. I'm talking about. Shit. Use my vehicle. Well, that didn't end well. Try to calm the hell down, and only to get even more upset about being cut off. And I don't like being cut off. No, 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 no. That was the Lord has blessed me. The Lord has blessed me because that little dude in that little car was just the Lord testing me. Amen. Hallelujah. I just lost it again for a second. I mean, I pulled over for 5 minutes just to calm down because someone cut me off already again, and here I am, tachycardic. People have no more patience. You know, they got the drive-through with at the gas station where they sell donuts. The donut place. They used to be up in Boston, and they went international, and their donuts suck. Anyway, the car went through the drive-through. Didn't even, I mean, sped up. No periphery at all. And it's funny because I'm not listening to it, but Rage Against the Machine, Bullet in the Head is playing on the radio, and that's where my thoughts were exact. Not my head. I'm not saying that. And, just for a split second, I'm entitled to think what I want for a second. But I'm not going to go trace down that vehicle. I don't even remember what it looks like. The Lord has blessed me today. But I'm real excited about my cage, okay? Because I've got all my ammo laid out perfectly. And I've already inventoried it. I know how much ammo I got. You can never have enough ammo, FYI. By the way, am I right or am I right? So I've decided my next video series I'm going to work on, that I'm going to use my camera and edit. I'm going to put my solar panel generator system together and test it outside. My last solar panel generator system, I kept in my basement, and I wired it from my basement. The solar panels were outside. But this system that I have, the way I wanted to do it, the way I envisioned it, okay, with my imagination, was to get a tent and put the whole system in a tent and have the solar panels outside, but everything would be kept in a tent, a pop-up tent, where that would be the solar generator tent. And wiring would come from there to the other tents, whatever you would need to rewire. The only thing that's going to be a pain in the ass to do is to move the batteries upstairs, because those things are not light. But I want to see my project through. And you can put lithium batteries. They do fine outside or inside the garage. I mean, there's no. So I might convert this thing to a garage operation instead of being in the basement operation, because I want to be able to have it outside. And my garage obviously is outside. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to do something in my garage to modify it so I can make room for that. And I already know where I'm going to put it. Don't even worry about it. I already know. So that's going to be my next video. Now I've diagrammed all the parts. It's just a matter of doing that and not getting myself electrocuted. Okay. I was having a glitch earlier anyway. I'm glad nobody was watching, because I got cut off twice by Illinois drivers. Or maybe it's me. Any of you ever like drive by a golf course and you get upset because you're like, damn, that would be a great gun range? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a great gun range. It'd still be dangerous because you're going to be shooting at the targets at the hole, where there'll be other people shooting at other holes. I'm all about the safety, you know? But let me digress. You could have them all facing one direction, and nobody moves from one point to the other until everybody moves. Or you could set it up as an obstacle course / gun range. But if you're going to do the obstacle course / gun range, the weapon has to be cleared and the magazine taken out before you go run from one obstacle to the other. I would not allow someone to run on an obstacle course with a loaded weapon on fire because you forgot to put it on safe. And don't give me this Delta Force shit. My index finger is my safety. Well, it's not. Okay? But that still would be fun to do if I had the land to do it. If I could afford to buy a golf course. Or I would just take the golf course and make it a traditional gun range. Apparently, I think it's illegal to shoot out of vehicles, even to train. So I would ixnay on that. I guess that's against the law to do. Even though we did it in the military all the time, where we'd go on convoys, and we would go with, like, during the war, that's the kind of shit we did too. But I guess you can't do that in the United States on land. I don't know what the laws are. I looked into my local grocery store to see if I could get some of their rotten fruit and vegetables to compost, and they don't do that. Of course they don't. So I'm back to gonna pick weeds in my subdivision and beautify the area and compost the weeds. Now I'm thinking all the time, because I need to add to my compost. Okay, I need to add a bunch of greens. I had a bunch of browns when I shredded all those little tree things. You know, go, sweetheart. It's okay, sweetheart. I love you. You know what's funny, folks? Is it could be a male driver, and I'll still call him sweetheart because I'm a nice guy. Guy looked at me like, I said, "Hi, sweetheart." One thing I never learned how to drive is an 18-wheeler. That's a good prepping skill to have. The only thing that would scare me, well, one, I don't drive a stick for shit, okay? But the whole parking thing. Now, in the military, I learned how to park when you have a trailer. Usually the trailer was water that we were carrying or medical supplies in the back of a Humvee on a trailer. And I learned how to park backwards doing that. That was a great experience. It's not from not being yelled at for doing it wrong till you learn how to do it right. That's how you learn to do things. Apparently, like I said earlier, well, nobody was on because there was a glitch. I had to reset the system. But one of the other preppers on a prepper channel, I don't even follow him. So I'm sort of proud that he's following me. But he told me I need to be less desktop prepper, less of a desktop prepper, and more of a doer prepper. And, because, yeah, he's right. Most of my videos I make from my desktop, except the ones that I make, like my garden videos. Sometimes I do medical videos. But a lot of my medical videos are their desktop, information. Like this weekend, I'm going to do a video on natural integrative medicine for heart disease. Okay. And I'm going over angina pectoris. That's chest pain. I'm going over coronary artery disease. That's when your arteries get occluded and you either need medication or a coronary artery bypass graft with stenting or stenting. I'm going to do on high blood pressure, which more or less that's a disease of inflammation and a disease of the kidneys. and I'll go into that. And of course, did I say congestive heart failure? I'm adding, so I'm going over heart disease this weekend on my Saturday live stream. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that. Then I think I'm going to add in a little bit about my solar generator system, because I have my basement cleaned up the way I like it. And so now I'm going to do that part of my solar generator system, my 2000-watt solar generator. Understand that I have a full whole set of solar panels on my house with battery backup. That's my primary emergency. In case the grid goes down, I still have those batteries that can be recharged from my solar panels to run stuff. Although I would not recommend running my freeze dryer at that time if there's no power at that time. But I also have, now I got like 4 miniature solar generators plus the 2000-watt solar generator that can be a backup to a backup to a backup to a backup. So we learned in the Army to have a backup plan to a backup plan. When 1st Battalion 160th went over to Somalia, part of Task Force Ranger is what it was called. And have contingency plans on self-search and rescue, extraction. So 2nd and 3rd Battalion at the time, we didn't have 4th Battalion yet. We implemented, lessons learned. So we had always a backup to a backup to a backup. And we rehearsed that. And of course, the medics were highly involved because it involved self-search and rescue. And the medics in the 160th are on jump status and flight status. We serve as the emergency extraction medic in our helicopters that can take a patient and a medical provider. There's room. The cool thing about those choppers back in the day, they had and I might be using the wrong word, a seatbelt waiver or a chair waiver. That we didn't even have chairs in our helicopters. You would just sit on the floor of the helicopter, and that's how you did it. But granted, I'm going to tell you, if we were traveling anywhere, we still buckled in to the bird. Everyone did. Sometimes they would travel with the doors open, so everything needed to be buckled in. I almost want to go straight because there's a cop. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, now I'm turning. See, these people just cut you off. What is it with these people in Illinois and cutting you off on a four-way intersection that they think that they can do that? Anyway, enough about military history. That's military history now, from my perspective. I'm almost at work. Thursdays, I have admin time in the afternoons. And I got some admin work I got to get done. I won't be playing around at all today. Can't go yet. See, the paranoid part of me thinks, like, just when I merged to go into the left to get on the four-way, the car that was turning right deliberately slowed the hell down just to be an ass. Or maybe I am paranoid. It's all worse. But if you missed it, I almost got in 2 wrecks this morning. One, both the same things. People just cutting you off. Not much of a prepper discussion this morning, is there? No. So on what's going to be cool is this coming Thursday, we're going to go to the beach, and I'm going to bring a bunch of my gear to the beach to test out. Okay? That's going to include water purification, solar cookers, solar generators, I'm not bringing the 2,000 watt system. And I'm going to make a lot of videos. So we're going to be on the beach of Lake Michigan. And I'm thinking if I could sneak it in, okay, a Fresnel lens. That's a lens that basically you use to start a fire. You got to be careful, though, doing that on the beach. Somebody took my spot. That's okay. I'm going to sit here. So I'm drive inspired, everyone. Have a good day. Suburban Prepper out.